Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2021 as we start our second season here in Italy. We're going to do the award ceremony for the end of last season, and then we'll do the transfer special as we get ready for the next. And a reminder, we did good enough on points that we would have won the league just about any other season that would have happened. Just Inter did that much better. Can we match the points that we did this season? And then talk above Inter, because I think Inter's number of points was a fluke. We just need to improve a few places, I think, and see if we can at least get the same number of points next season. If we get the same number of points next season and we still lose the league, what else can you do? So let's get into the award ceremony and the transfer special. All right, here we are, end of season review for the 2030. That is, we're 10 years away from when I'm recording the new arrivals. So, who all did we bring? We got Legalian, obviously goalkeeper. He played outstanding. I'm surprised we're only getting a B- for him. We brought Alvarez in as a veteran center back. He played okay. I mean, he almost got a 7.0. We didn't really pay a lot of money for him, so honestly, for the value, I actually thought we got a decent deal for him. Splinter comes in, did not do as well as I would have liked, for sure. We're actually going to pay out as much as $98 million for him once it's all said and done. We need to see more from him. Maybe it's just because the other strikers stepped up more and he just wasn't a feature enough. I don't know, but we'll see. He's technically an attacking midfielder, but I think he has potential to continue. Napolitano coming in, B-, not too bad overall. Stefan really didn't do well at all. We didn't pay a ton of money for him, to be fair, so we'll see what we can do. Nanad comes in as a wonder kid. Honestly, we paid a little bit more for him. He's got a lot of room to develop, so it's possible he could develop into something pretty awesome for us. Find out as time goes by, I guess. Really, nobody else worth looking at. Let's anybody at the bottom. Mankovic, actually. Hey, that's impressive. I guess they just liked that we paid too much. Manka down here at the bottom. Transfers out. Nonato went on to do some really good stuff. Jeremy went on to do some good stuff. They just really didn't. The fans, or I guess it's the board, like these transfers at all. Honestly, they're giving us pretty bad grades for all of these. Yeah, I mean, any of these guys we got a good grade for moving on. Not really look like it. Who did we sell for the most? 20 mil for Univar, 11 mil for Vieira, 20 mil for Mosca, 27 for Macchione, 50 mil for Matondo. Apparently they did not like that, but we weren't going to be using him. So loans out did well. I mean, look, top 10 or so, it looks like they started to develop pretty well. Maybe we'll have some good guys growing up through our youth system here. Season results. Obviously, we know this very, very well. Had an outstanding season, just paled in comparison to what we only lost 2 games, right? We lost Perugia, AC Milan. I'm sorry, we lost 4 games. 5 games. I forgot about the Zebra game at the end. We did lose more games than I remembered. I guess I could have. But still, 5 games, honestly. Not that many. Only drew 5. A lot of wins throughout the season. Daka had 38 goals in league overall. Competition top scorer. European Champions Cup. We did decently well in here. I mean, we went out there and we got past Chelsea. We got past Bayern Munich and all those guys. We held our own against Barcelona, just not good enough in the end. 9 goals for Daka there. Italian Cups. This was a huge, huge disappointment. I mean, how do you lose to Atalanta? Where did they even place here? 14th. I mean, how do we lose to them? That was definitely a moment to forget. Biggest win, Lazio against Red Star, 7-0. Match to remember was our win against Parma. And goal of the season was a game against Benevento from Surge here. So let's go in the 56th minute. Throw in from Ostergaard. Places there, heads it over to Surge. Surge back here, back from Pippi. Surge, oh, pretty good goal. I mean, there's a lot of clutter in front of him. He had to get past some defenders. but pretty strong goal. Take it. All right. The finances. Finances have been rough. Honest. I didn't do too good overall. No new sponsors. No nothing new over here. Um, Basically the same on the sponsorships. Broadcast revenue went down. Really, that's part of our losses. Versus we had a loss overall. We did not make any profit this season, which is unfortunate. So yeah, most merchandising or broadcast revenue was really low. Corporate hospitality went low. Competition prize money was low. But we did barely edge out match day commercial and retail. Total merchandise sales was pretty high. Places number one: Daka, Splinter, Elena, Pippi. I'm surprised Splinter is in here, and Elena. Two guys that I'm in Pippi. Honestly, all three of these guys could be on the chopping block. I will probably keep Splinter, but technically he is the worst of these strikers. So hey, how we lined up, obviously the 4-3. See if we continue that or not. I do like having the three strikers up front. We could also do something different. Play it out. Oh, oh, oh. Think about being 50 in 2031. Oh, getting over the fact that I'm going to turn 40 this year. All right. Anyway, player awards, club awards. Fans player of the season was Daka, of course. Young player of the season was Places. Makes sense. Signing of the season, Legal. That makes sense as well. Goal of the season for Surge. We saw that. Top goal scorer, Daka, 49. He almost had his 50. Most assists was Places with 15. Nice. Player of the match awards, Daka with 14. Highest average rating, 6.5 from Daka. Man, I hope he comes back and plays well next. And then Hernandez, 24 for most passes completed per 90 minutes. 5 passes, not bad. Competition awards. African Footballer of the Year was Daka. African Striker of the Year was Daka. Serie A Player of the Year was Daka. Serie A Top Goal Scorer was Daka. Daka. Record breakers. Obviously, Daka got the record for most goals in a season, most league goals in a season. Most assists was Places. That's all. Player of the Match award. All these records. Most league appearances by a player. Surge 570. Surge is 37. I forgot he was that old. And then, of course, Splinter was the highest transfer fee paid. Here, maybe to see if it works out. I don't know. Kind of not so sure now. Spanish stuff. What's here that we care about? Daka breaks goal scoring record. We saw that. Players inducted into the Lazio overall best 11. We got Papetti in here, and then looks like Legal made it into the bench. Not bad, honestly. For a team that's been around as long as these guys have a couple of our guys get in there. Oh, obviously Daka's already in there. That makes sense. Surge is already in there. Mikolenko. Where are they now? We don't care that much. Two and 2025. We also don't care. Actually care about. I mean, we were quite impenetrable. Obviously, not as much as Milan. We saw that Milan was just out, but not bad. I mean, it's a really good place to be. And then we were the most aggressive clinical scoring outfit. Where is it? Got to be like somewhere around here. Where is Inter? No way, Inter's down here. Did I just? They must be up here somewhere, and the dot's just like hiding. Maybe the dot's being covered up by someone else. Because there's no way. Oh, there it is. Inter Milan. Oh, way up there. The name I just didn't recognize right away. Interesting. They didn't get into the aggressive clinical. Club vision, expectations, counterattacking football. See. Play help players using the club's youth system will try. Work with a wage budget will definitely try. Sign young players will try. Qualify for the European Champions Cup. Yes. Like to reach the knockout round of the Champions Cup. Awesome. And becoming recognized as the best of the rest, apparently. Challenge for the Serie A title within the next couple of years. I like that. Sure. Excellent dressing room atmosphere. Excellent managerial support. Surge, Mikolenko, Osha. Daka's only down here as highly influenced. It's interesting. I was waiting to be higher up. Let's discuss our plans for next season. I mean, I think they're going to be upset with me if I say this. I think we could qualify for the championship next year. Yeah, they're good with that. Aiming to win the Greece knockout, so that's what our board is hoping for. Want to make promises? I don't really want to make promises. Like promises. Yeah, we'll just do it. I'd like to strengthen the midfield, actually. All right. I think that's enough promises for now. Well, all right. Seemed like the team meeting went okay for the most part. New season team report. Really here jumping out at me. Break. Let's go. Let's just Eeny, Miny, Mo. Lombardia. Just because I don't want to keep it local. Keep it boys from getting tired. Daka wins Serie A Player of the Year. Awesome. Arm around the boy. Boy. I am. Although I'm 50, so never mind. Awesome stuff, though. Top goal scorer award, of course, well deserved. And the next closest was 21. He just. Manager of the Year. Hey. Yes. We'll vote for the guy at the bottom, Santoni. Just because. Why not? Places, Daka, Ustigard. Ustigard actually made it in the top 11. That's impressive. Bunch of inner players, though. Bunch of inner players. And, of course, the goalkeeper from Milan. That guy was just outstanding. Wait, what? Oh, manager's manager. Is that two different lists? I'm confused between them. We'll vote for the same guy again, Santoni. I'm cheap and try to force myself to win sometimes. Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna put a cut in there. I don't think there's gonna be anything else for right now. I will let you guys know. I said cut. We're gonna put a pause in there. I'll come back when there is some news on the transfer front. But it's probably gonna be a long transfer season because we do have the Spanish stuff coming up. Might be one of those weird things where I have to finish the transfers separate from the Spanish video and separate the two videos, and therefore might have to hide some of the one or the other, something like that. We'll figure out how I'm going to break it up because we do have, like I said, some Spanish stuff coming up. So we put a pause in here. We'll be back in a bit. All right, we are back, and today is the first game of the season against Bologna here. So we have finished all of our transfers and things like that. I'll show you those in a moment. Here's how the friendlies went. You know, put up some scores, stuff like that. We're staying with the same formation for now. We're going to see if that continues to work out because we do have 3 really strong strikers. So at the very least, I'd like to keep that going. But we'll keep it up as long as we can. I mean, this first one loss against Broyar, a little weird, but the rest of them went pretty well. If I did this right in the right order, then you guys just saw in the last episode the end of the Spanish stuff. So you know how that mostly turned out. What you don't know yet, and you can probably see in the top left corner, something different. We did get let go from the Spanish national team. I then applied to England, France, and Holland. All 3 of them came back the same day and said, hey, we want you to join our team. I would love to have gone to Holland and hooked back up with Hasnut and Johnson. That would have been amazing fun, but they're ranked 8th. I mean, I don't know. It didn't feel like that was the direction we should go to have the best chance of success in both the World Cup and the next time European Championships come around. England actually wanted to pay us the most of all 3 of those, and I definitely would have loved to have gone to England as well. They're ranked 7th, and they definitely I think we could build them up to a team that could win, but we had to go for the safe bet, I think. We don't have a ton of time left. We got to go for the bet that's the most likely, and that is France. France is just the stronger of those 3 teams. They're actually stronger than Spain. I think I mentioned in the last episode Spain was 3rd and Portugal was 6th. Spain was actually 2nd and Portugal was 6th. That loss to Portugal was devastating. But guess who won the European Championship? Portugal. Portugal beat, I think it was Italy in the finals, which would have been fun for Spain to go against Italy. That would have been kind of fun. But so we're out of Spain, but we're in with France. And that's going to give us a really good chance with the number 1 team in Europe to actually number 1 team in the world to win both the World Cup and the the European Championships in a few years, if we're still with them, that is. But I think it's going to give us a good chance. Now, are we going to be able to keep? They've got Mbappe still. Would love to be able to coach Mbappe in a good run of games. I don't know if he'll stick around till the World Cup. He's 33, 34, something like that right now. He's going to be a bit old by the time the World Cup comes around here in a couple years. We'll see. We'll see if we still got him. Other news. If you ever wondered what Jurgen Klopp was going to do after he retired or got done with all being him, I guess he's going to come and be a scout for us. We'll go look at our scouting team because where is he? Jurgen Klopp, right there. He is a scout, not a senior scout, not a chief scout or whatever, not a director of football for us. He's just a scout. Jurgen Klopp, scout. I was like, what? Okay, we'll take Jurgen Klopp as a scout. Why not? I thought that was a little funny. Anyway, in other news, let's go look at our transfers because that's obviously what you guys are here for. This is the transfer special. Let's go see what we've got going on with the transfer history. Let me go back a year and we'll come back for a second because there was a couple things. I guess it's just one here at the end. We did get rid of Pippi here. He didn't play well for us this last season. He played 6.76, not really all that great. He's only on 6.37 right now with England so far. We didn't bring him in. They brought him in a few years ago for 23.5. We sold him for 14.5. That just kind of shows how I felt like he kind of degraded over time. We wanted to get something for him. We needed to get stronger midfielders. He just wasn't getting it done. So we sold Pippi for 14.5 to Norwich. And then here's the new season of stuff. And let me just change this to cash claused. There we go. All right. So big outs. Oh yeah. I was going to say Anton Gaina. I don't know who this guy is. I don't remember him. He was a guy that was out on loan. And I guess they had a clause that allowed them to buy him while he was out on loan. So in a way, we kind of got a free 8.5 mil. It's still in pounds. That's what I get for swapping between games. We're going to put it on euros. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I could put it on dollars and just stop swapping back and forth. Make me happy. Just kidding. Let's do this. If I just go back to that. Yeah, that works. That fixes it. So we got him out for 9.25 mil euros. And again, a guy that I didn't know anything about. It was just money that came in. We couldn't say no to it because it was part of their clause. So whatever. We then sold Stefan to Club Brugge here for 15.75. He's valued at 20.5. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more for him. Actually, I thought he was valued a little bit less than this, a little bit closer to the money that we got for him. But he was on a 7.0, which is not bad, but he only played 11 games, 11 appearances for us. We really just didn't have a place for him in our team. Didn't really feature a lot. We bought him for 9, sold him for 15.75. Feels like a pretty decent piece of business. We then sold Elena. Ooh, this is a big one. We sold him to an division league, I guess, interleague team, Zebra here. Probably a bad move, but we actually had a move going for him going to Manchester United, I think, for 51 mil, and that fell through. And then the only other team that could come back in for him around that range was Zebra. So we did sell him to Zebra. He didn't play especially well for us last season. 6.88. I mean, it's not terrible. And he actually had been some 7s before that. But I just felt like we'd get some more strength in there. We did pick up another guy around that same price range, which you can see over here. And we'll look at him in a minute. Anybody else over here that was important? Hernandez went out 13.75. Clean went out 15.5. We didn't really feature him a whole ton. We sold this Peterson guy. He was out on loan for a bit. Ale, whatever, was out on loan for a bit. So we got a little bit of money for them just to kind of help with a few things. The guys we brought in, though, we brought in Emmanuel Mason here. 14.25 could go up to 16.25. He's valued at 13.75, so we might have overpaid a little bit for him. He was actually rated a solid 3 stars when I picked him up, so it's weird that he dropped down to 2.5. But I felt like he might be a decent swap around for Stefan. He actually played pretty well for Spain in the first division last season, 7.12. Not bad at all. So we'll see if he can do something for us and take kind of that Stefan kind of backup role for us instead. So basically, we sold Stefan for 15.75, bought this guy for, could be as much as 16.25. It was approximately a clean swap if you look at it from that direction. We then picked up Joan here. 31 mil, could go up to 35.5. He comes in from Chelsea. 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential, so he's basically at his potential right now. 25 years old. He's valued at 41.5, so I think we got a decent bargain on him. He didn't play especially well this last season because he didn't play a lot, but you know, he's played okay. 7.09 a couple years ago for Chelsea, 6.86. I mean, he's in the mix. I don't know. It felt like he was like a decent swap for Elena, but at a cheaper price. So we'll see if that works out. And then Fabio comes in for the money that we got for Elena. And Fabio, I mean, you got to love a name like Fabio. He comes in. For one thing, a reason I brought him in is because he's Italian. Being Italian means that he fits in some of the rules that we need where we can only have certain foreigners and things like that. So, or non-EU and things of that nature. So bringing him in helps us out in that regard. Solid 4-star player all around, 27 years old. So he's got the experience. He's only got under 21 caps, to be fair, but you know, I can't do anything about that. But he has been playing for VfB Stuttgart and scoring above 7s the last 3 years in a row. They actually picked him up for 8.75 a few years ago, and he's a good spot. Sold him for 51 mil. Not a bad piece of business for VfB Stuttgart there. So I think he's going to be do good stuff for us. De Fabio here. And again, because he's Italian, that helps us out in a lot of ways. Mitrovic comes in from Chelsea as well. So we actually picked up 2 guys from Chelsea. Another midfielder, 4-star current ability, 4-star potential. Could play Mazzala, could play DLP, advanced playmaker, not too bad. He scored 7s for 4 years in a row. Only a 6.77 last season, although he only made 11 appearances. So he could have gotten hurt. Who knows what happened. But picking him up for 22.5 felt like a decent run of business. He's valued at 45 mil, honestly. Actually, I think he was valued at less than that when we picked him up. But I think he's going to come in and do some good stuff for us. We'll see what he does. He actually comes in and features as a starter for us right away. In fact, I think these 3 guys actually are good enough to be starters for us right away. Luciano Pires here comes in from Bologna, who we play next. 24 mil, going up to 27 mil. He's another Italian. Another reason why I brought him in was because he's Italian, and he has the potential to grow into something. Do I expect him to start right away? I don't know. I mean, he did a 7.15 in the league last season, so we know he can play. We'll see. Mostly, again, I just need to get some more Italians to kind of fill in some spots there. And then we brought in this guy. 11.5 mil is the upfront fee. There is another 11.5 mil if he plays 50 games for us. And the reason I was okay to do that, I was okay with doing that, is because he's 33 years old. There's a good chance he doesn't make it to 50 games. We don't know. He could retire after this season and only played about 40 games or so. If we go through, deep into the championship, stuff like that. So I brought him in because he's got a lot of experience. He's a strong, solid central defender. And I knew that I could get him, a little bit cheaper than his value. And I was okay with putting that extra thing on there. Because, hey, if he does play 50 games for us, he doesn't make it long enough to get into next season, then maybe it's worth the extra money to keep him around. But he's been scoring above 7s almost his entire career. He played for RB Leipzig for a while. He played for Liverpool for a while. And he's just been outstanding as a player in both of those leagues. So he comes in as a very, very strong, solid central defender role for us. 51 caps for France. I mean, we know France is the #1 team in the league. We're going to get to see more of him as we coach the French team. So I brought him in. I thought that was a decent deal. Again, if he only makes it 1 year, fine. Keep a guy around for a year, have a good, solid standing, and then go from there. All right. So that's where we're at. And anything else to show you guys? I don't think so. Really nothing left in the finances. In fact, I'm probably going to do some budget adjustment here to put a little bit more of that back on the wage. Oh, we need a little bit more than that. So I probably just need to put all of it on the wage. No, we're still under. I thought I did this math better, but I guess we're going to be a little bit under. That's all right. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, next game up is against Bologna, and then we'll play the Crotone game, and we'll go from there. And let's see if we can do just a little bit. Well, actually, I say do a little bit better this season. Honestly, if we match our performance from last season, I can't imagine that Inter is going to put the same performance they did last season. Because remember, our performance last season would have been good enough to win the league like 4 or 5 of the last, 6 or so seasons. So we just need to match our performance from last season, at least in the league. Now, obviously, I'd like to do a little bit better in the cup games. Would love to do better in the championship league. So we'll see how we can do it. But we'll come back for the Bologna game in the next episode. I'm about to record that as soon as I hit the stop button on this one. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.